Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot. I have a channeled message for you. I am going to describe who this message is for, but take what resonates and leave behind the rest for the person it's meant to. So feel free to listen into the whole video and just take what resonates, but I'm going to try to give as much specifics as possible so that the people this is meant for will receive it. So first of all, I'm going to say what I picked up from the cards so far. We have the Queen of Swords. Sorry, we have the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Tower. I am picking up that there is a relationship here. It may not be romantic or a serious like love relationship such as a marriage or a long-term relationship. It may be like a partnership that's related to business or some kind of creative project. But what I am seeing so far is that there has been a major disruption, perhaps something very shocking and upsetting, and it might even involve a third party, or it might involve a conflict of interest where the there's a financial setback or a financial conflict of interest. Okay, so let me just pull some more cards and get right into it. If this is a love relationship, there may not be a third party where it's like an interloper, an affair partner. It may not be an affair. I don't mean to disturb you. I'm not trying to suggest the worst possible scenario here. So please trust your intuition and also use your good judgment, use your best judgment in life in general. You are watching a video, right? So like, I don't know the details of your life. I'm just picking up on energy here. Take whatever resonates for you. So what I'm picking up here is that it's like there's a something that you are disagreeing with your partner on, and it involves like the money spent on it. So for example, maybe your partner has bought like a new car and they didn't really consult you, and they got the auto loan on their own, like that sort of thing could be causing the disagreement and the conflict right now. Let me pull over. Let me pull over. Let me turn this car over. Let me turn this car over. I keep talking about cars and driving. Okay, we have the King of Cups here. Definitely whatever is coming in, it's like it's something that brings up a lot of like nostalgia. It brings up a lot of sentiment. There's a lot of sentimental value here. There could be another person involved, but honestly, I don't like specialize in love relationships, so I tend not to pick up on any details related to like the intricacies of a relationship or affairs or anything like that. So I'm just telling you off the bat, this isn't the right channel for that. I will just say that if it's screaming, if the cards are screaming about other people involved, I'll tell you. So there is a chance that like someone else is involved here who is like a very I feel like this is someone who has a lot of nostalgia for the past, or they are from the past and you have a lot of nostalgia for them. Like you have a lot of nostalgia for what used to be, what things used to be like with them. Okay. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands here. So I feel like you yourself might be feeling indecisive because you feel like you have to make a choice or like choose a direction, choose a path, and you're sort of like under pressure. Like I think you feel like there's an opportunity and you don't want to miss an opportunity. So let me describe a few situations this could be. It could be that, maybe you're in a relationship and the person you're with has proven to be kind of unreliable or unstable or just not quite, a good partner to you for some reason. And there is another person coming in who seems to be, seems to care more about you, seems to be more sensitive to your needs. Now you are at a point where you have to you're entertaining the idea of, you know, leaving your relationship and going with someone else. But it's one of those things where I think the grass does look greener on the other side. So I think you need to be like, you need to take things very slow in general in your life, because what you've just gone through, I think the reason why you're looking at your current partner very differently, or very like, you know, why you're considering leaving, is because your partner has dropped some kind of bombshell on you. Now, this could be something that is bad, like, you know, I had an affair, right? That, I mean, to me, that's sort of one of the worst possible scenarios. But it could very likely just be that, you know, your partner, again, maybe your partner spent a little bit of money on a side project or a creative project, and you're just like, why? Like, that was so, you know, you spent money that could have been spent on fixing our car. You know, like, there's something that you just disagree with them about something they're irresponsible for. That's what I'm trying to say. They could have been irresponsible in a way that was surprising to you and upsetting to you, but not necessarily like the most awful thing on the planet, right? So I'm just trying to point out that you may be like stuck in your head about something and indecisive about something, but you've sort of been thrown for a loop. So it's like, just whatever you do, don't make any rash decisions. Don't just like upend your entire life because of one bad fight, right? Like give yourself time to let things settle and let your feelings settle. Give yourself time to process how you feel, especially deeper feelings, because the King of Cups energy that's showing up could also be you, where you have maybe bottled up some feelings from the past, or not even from your relationship, like just feelings from childhood. Like you know, it could be that sort of thing where you have very deep feelings that haven't quite been addressed, and those deep feelings are now kind of rupturing the peace of your day-to-day life, you know, the peaceful coexistence of in your relationship. You know, that's one way to put it. Okay, so we have the Death card showing up. Change is afoot, and certainly some kind of boundary too. There's something you just never want to go back to. It's like you never want to feel a certain way ever again. You never want to, you know, experience something ever again. Like maybe your partner said something to you that was like really beyond the pale and uncalled for, and it was just like wrong, you know. Maybe it's something where like you need to tell your partner, don't you ever speak to me like that again. Okay, that's what I'm getting from the Death card. Let me just put it this way, things have not been, it's not been smooth sailing for you lately, but it's okay, because sometimes these ruptures and these disruptions are really just, they've been like a long time coming, and there just never was the straw that broke the camel's back. So you might have been putting up with something for a very long time, and you've been like operating good faith and just trying to trust, you know, sort of like trust your better angels. Is that the saying? Like you've been trying to take the high road for some time. You know, I think that's actually definitely the case here, is that you have been trying to take the high road and be you know, just be the best partner you can be and operate with integrity and all of that. You know, say what you mean what you say. But there's I feel like you've been doing that, and maybe you feel like you've been giving it more than the other person. And so when something is uneven like that, when you feel like there's an imbalance in the relationship and you care more than the other person cares, or you're more invested than the other person. So this is especially true if it's like a partnership, right? A business partnership. You know, let's say you've been working your butt off and you even like invested your life savings, and meanwhile this business partner of yours is like being irresponsible and just focused more on the partying aspect and the networking, or like the schmoozing, and they don't actually want to do like the grunt work where you gotta like, you know, put in a long day of physical labor. I'm just giving an example, right? So if that has been the case, then it's also possible that the deep feelings you need to address are like a simmering resentment that has been brewing, okay? And that would explain a Tower moment, because the Tower is not, it can be shocking and upsetting, but it's not really that much of a surprise when you look at the aftermath. You know, a Tower moment has a basis in a consequence. It can be a Tower moment, which is when you feel like your world has turned upside down. This is something that can feel like it came out of left field, but when you actually think about it and you actually look at what happened, you can trace back the roots to what happened. You can see like, oh, you know, this we're having this moment because we had a fight 6 months ago that never got resolved, right? So I'm just telling you like it is. And here I go with the Queen of Swords here. So this is actually very much in line with what I was saying for advice. Don't make any rash decisions. This is really a time for analysis and critiquing and trying to be as objective as possible, really trying to look at the situation very clearly, and trying to remove your own bias from it. Especially with relationships, it's very difficult to look at a relationship without bias. But, you know, maybe you have a friend or a therapist or somebody else in your life who's always been a very helpful, you know, someone who you know is helpful because they're very thoughtful and they understand, you know, they have a very like sharp and keen insight on, you know, relationships or human nature. Like you could have a friend that you can think of right now that may be good to consult for advice. Maybe this is a therapist, maybe this is a marriage counselor, maybe this is a lawyer. Okay, so this is somebody who again would be a trusted ally for you right now, because they're going to help you look at the situation with clear eyes. And yeah, I think I said that clearly enough. I just got the Judgment card. You guys, like, see, this is all on point. We've got the Judgment card right next to the Queen of Swords. I'm just going to tell you now, somebody listening to this may be considering divorce. You may need to consult a divorce lawyer. Obviously, I cannot give any legal advice, but I think you may have a concern right now that if you were to divorce, will you be taken care of? Will you have enough to live on? Will you get what you're owed? The Nine of Pentacles is showing up, so this could be somebody who's in a partnership, in a marriage where, you know, you're sort of, you know, you may not be working. You may not be earning an income, and you may be like taking care of the house or the kids, but because you're not earning that income, you may have a precarious situation if you were to split up from your partner, right? So these are just important things to think about. Okay, it's showing up in the cards. We have the Chariot. Yeah, why did I kept talking about car? I kept saying pulling over, and there's a car involved here. I don't know. I think for a lot of you there's a car involved here, and if there is, I would love to hear that in the comments. You know, what is up with the car? Was there a new car purchased? Was, you know, maybe it was a trip too. Like maybe like your partner went and spent like so much money on like a vacation with their friends, and you're just like, what the hell? We have the Strength card. Really great cards coming through. You know, this is a pivotal moment. We have death, we have Tower, death, Chariot, Strength, and we've got the King and Queen of Wands. So, you know, if you have been, you may very well be, honestly, you may very well be jazzed that everything is shaking out the way it's shaking out, because I feel like some of you have kind of been waiting for this moment to just be like, finally, I can just absolve myself of this and move on. You know, I think some of you really are ready to move on from whatever this is. Again, could be love, could be business, could be something else like creative. I think some of you are definitely ready to move on. You're ready to stand on your own 2 feet. You're ready to you know, not be in partnership with somebody who I think does rely a lot on your natural talents and your charisma. Even your social connections, that's totally a possibility here. This could be a partner who you feel like has been, you know, maybe just in your life because they want like clout or status or social connections. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Five of Wands. This is an interesting depiction of the Five of Wands because it shows a very stable image here, like with this 5-pointed star. So I think with the Five of Wands and the Strength card, honestly, all these depictions, it is making me feel like there is a certain amount of strife in your life, but it's actually giving you motivation. It's like a good strife. It's if you take the right perspective on this, if you really think about how all our time is limited, like we only have so much time, we only have so much energy, where do we really want to put that energy? The strife in your life is going to make it easier for you to make those decisions and to prioritize your time and your energy, because you've got the Queen of Swords here, and it's on your, honestly, you've got 3 queens here. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. You've got 3 queens that I see as supportive energy. You have the Judgment as supportive energy. Okay, you've got so much going on here that is positive and that can be used for a big change in your life, for moving on, for progressing forward in your life, for giving yourself another chance to pursue a dream, you know, and go after what you want without feeling like, yeah, without feeling like you've been left behind. I feel like some of you have felt like, oh, you know, I'm too old to do this, or everybody else in my life has moved on to some amazing career. It's like, no, that's not the case. You have accomplished a lot in whatever you've been doing. You actually have a lot of experience and wisdom and contributions that you bring to the table. So definitely don't sell yourself short. We have the Two of Swords, and we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so, you know, I said, like, don't make any rash decisions. That's being emphasized here. But it's also, there's a balance here. Don't overthink it either. If you're having trouble making a decision, especially for something that affects your long-term future and what you're gonna really spend your time doing in the future, maybe some of you are even thinking about having kids, starting a family. If you have to make a decision right now, I think trying to go about that in a very practical way is what is advised. So that would mean, you know, writing out pro cons, like write out a list, write out 2 lists, like what would be the good things about this decision, what would be, you know, where would this, and then opposite that, where would I sacrifice? Yeah, so like, you know, try to really hash out, like, how does this serve me or my goal? How does this serve my higher purpose? And I think especially that, if you really ask yourself the question of like, what, you know, where is this the direction that I want to go in for my life? Like, do I really want to spend the rest of my life feeling this way or doing these things on a day-to-day basis? If you think about it long term like that, and think about your life as a whole, and you take that real bird's eye view of your life, that will be helpful, because you don't want to get mired in anything too petty or too small. Now is not the time to be small-minded, is what I'm trying to say, okay? We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah. Clarity, answers, solutions. Yeah. Absolutely. So I do see that in the near future, you are going to get the information you want, or you're going to feel much more decisive. You may not feel that way now, but I feel like in the near future, you're going to make a decision and you're going to stick to that decision, and you're going to realize, like, you know what? This is the best decision for me, given the situation, given everything in front of me. This is the best decision for me. That's a great way to feel, especially when we go through life and go through difficult challenges or transitions. Look at that. We have the Ace of Wands. That is wonderful energy. So I'm gonna stop here with this deck, and I'll just pull a couple more couple oracle cards for you. Try to get some advice or near future outcomes here for this group, given the energies, the current energies. We have the Warrior. Nice. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and a Warrior. Okay. Number 10. Wow, what a beautiful image too. You know, with the skull. This is like a, you know, a cow skull, right? Or buffalo. I don't know. This skull is reminding me of the Death card. Play for keeps. That's what I just heard. Play for keeps. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does. You are a warrior. You fight for what you care about. You fight. You're brave in going after what you care about, in defending what you care about. You're brave. You don't pull any punches either. 3 queens and the warrior. Wow, we have bird. Freedom, opportunity. Freedom and opportunity with the warrior. You know, it's not on this card, but it also makes me think about the hummingbird. If that's important to you, if that's a synchronicity. Hummingbirds are fierce little creatures. You know, they're tiny, and we think of hummingbirds as being so cute and precious and dainty, but hummingbirds are fierce. If you ever watch hummingbirds battle it out, they do not give up. Like, they just keep going, and that's the energy you need to bring into your life right now. If it's not already here, it's the energy that is available to you. So tap into it, you know? Tap into that real fighting spirit. And I feel like you're worth, so I feel like, you know, you might have been doubting your worth, might have been doubting, you know, did I do my best? The answer is yes. You did. You absolutely deserve what you want out of this situation. So don't hold back. Give it what you got. We have held, abundance, nice. The worker, whoa. And healer, wow. So yeah, some of you, if this is about a business partnership or some kind of collaborative partnership, some of you need to fight for what you earned. Okay, so this might be a legal issue that involves money, and obviously I do not know the details and could not advise you, but you know, I am seeing for some of you that you have worked very hard and you have created abundance for a company or a person or a partnership, and you deserve what you worked for. I'm also seeing with the healer here, it's possible that some of you have also been just overworked in this situation, whether it's a marriage, whether it's, you know, I feel like some of you do need to take this time as you sort through your feelings, as you sort through your different options and weigh the pros and cons of these decisions. It's also a good time to really give yourself this kindness and this compassion and this self-love. Like, hold yourself, you know, hold yourself in love, in reverence for what you've been through and what you've built and what you've, you know, what you fought for. Again, you're a warrior. If this is freedom that you're after and you want to leave a bad situation, hold yourself in that that self-regard where it's like, yeah, you know, I don't, if I had to imagine, if you were imagining it happening to your friend, you know, imagine the situation with happening to a friend, and maybe there was clear, wow, this is unjust, you know, this is unfair to you. Wouldn't you want for your friend that freedom, or at least the opportunity to go after what you want and not be held back, right? So yeah, I hope some of this is resonating for you, and I hope this is helpful for you. But this is what I have for you today. So absolutely wishing you the best of luck with the situation. If this resonated, please do click the like button. Feel free to chime in the comments. I would love to hear if this is your reading. I would love to hear some input on how it resonates with you. So thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you at the next video. Take care.